Hi, I'm Ananya, the creator and founder of the Pleiadian Healing Center. And in this episode of the Ascension Times, I will be talking about the prophetic dreams that I have had about the event, including one really interesting one that I had last night. I'll be talking about repressed memories coming to the surface at this time, and also a little channeled message from my Pleiadian family at the end. So enjoy. Hi guys, good to see you again. Thank you for joining me. I apologize for the strange lighting. I have a window just here, but I wanted to do this with the altar behind me just for like a change of scene. Just felt right. So I'm feeling really a bit agitated today and a bit squeezed because it's like really, really hot here in the UK. It's like 30 degrees Celsius, which probably for some of you in some parts of the world is nothing. But for us, it's like, what is this madness? The sun is shining, sun cream and all that stuff. Healthy sun cream, of course. So yes, so I wanted to talk to you today about some interesting things that I've noticed going on. So first and foremost, I had a dream last night about the event. And when it's going to happen. Now, when I say the event, I'm talking about a moment that is essentially part of it is like a solar flash, but it's like this sweep of kind of like love and pure source energy that moves through from the galactic center and just radiates through the whole of our galaxy, and particularly our solar system. And the way I see it is it's almost like it course corrects everything that is out of alignment with the divine. So it's kind of like a reset, but not kind of like a negative reset in the way that certain people are trying to harness it, but a natural evolutionary leap, okay? So I had a dream last night that I was at some kind of dashboard and there were loads of buttons and stuff. And it was about when the event is going to happen. And on this dashboard, there was it's like a little bit vague, so I'm trying to get it, like pull it forward as vividly as I can to describe it to you guys. So I knew looking at this dashboard that there was an event that had to happen that would trigger a cascade of events that led to the main kind of like solar flash awakening. And in my dream, that initial event that led to the cascade had been triggered. So we knew that it was very quick succession of events leading up to the solar flash, and that it was really close. So what I take this to mean, and I'm sensing it as well, is that we really are really quite close now. I feel that the floodgates have opened, and that wave of consciousness just rippling through and people awakening is happening now. It's in place, it's on its way, we're there. So like the 100 monkey effect, it feels like that kind of thing has reached its tipping point now. So when I tune into it, I almost see this wave of consciousness, of awakening in people. And what's interesting is that it's not even about, it's so multifaceted, isn't it? It's so multidimensional, this whole thing that we're going through. So it's quite difficult to explain it, but it's not even about things in the external environment happening to wake people up. So it's not that the media are suddenly going to say, oh, UFOs are real. Oh, we've been working with ETs for years. Oh, the coronavirus is a hoax to try and wipe out the population and control you and all that stuff. What it is an internal awakening. It's an internal awakening because we have a collective consciousness. We have a unified consciousness as a human species. And enough people have woken up now that part of everybody that's tapped into it is awakened enough to facilitate the individual's awakening as well. So that's what I'm seeing. Now, it might be that that actually comes through as people being triggered by their environment. So it is an internal awakening. However, something external might fit into that and kind of catalyze it, if that makes sense. But also, from a higher level, because everything is unified, if people are going through that internal awakening, then that is going to be mirrored in the external as well. So the external will also bring everything to light. So it's all fitted together. It's not really one thing comes before another. It's just this cohesive, unified awakening process. So I've discussed before quite a lot about the event or the solar flash. It's something that I looked back on one of David Wilcock's videos today, actually, because he covered it quite well in terms of the ancient prophecies that are pointing to this time. And I just want to talk about, I know I've mentioned this before, but I just want to talk about some dreams that I've had in relation to this solar flash that I feel were there to prepare me, but I also want to share it with you guys so you can get an idea of what this might look like. So first of all, I've had three to four dreams at various points over the past maybe 5 years about the solar flash itself and what happens. So in these dreams, I would be somewhere. It's usually in a house actually that I don't know. It's almost like I'm on holiday or something. And I can feel something's coming. I can sense it. And I look out of the window and there's this wave like slowly rolling towards us. Not water, but energy, like an energy wave. And I think in one of the dreams maybe, or two of them, it had these kind of like rainbow colors as well, kind of like the northern lights. But it's basically almost like a force, you know how like you would see a force field in a movie with CGI? It kind of looks like that, and it's moving towards us. And it starts coming in, and I'm like, oh my god, this is intense. And we all look at each other, like me and my family, and we're like, this is it, it's happening now. And so we go and lie down, because literally it knocks us out. We cannot stand up and withstand the energy. It's so powerful and so intense that all we can do is lie down and just surrender to it. And it's bliss, and it's love, and it's peace, and it's just this huge wave that just rolls through. And yeah, that's it really. And it was exactly the same in each dream, and these happened like 1 or 2 years apart from each other. So it was almost like a reminder that that is what will happen. Now, what's really interesting, and I think is another piece of evidence that we're close to the event, is that for me, I regularly have to just like lie down. Like the waves of energy that are coming in even now for me are like so intense. I'm like, I just got to lie down. I can't keep this hunk of meat going right now. I just need to let go and surrender and just like feel it move through me. And so because I'm feeling that already, I feel like that's another sign that we're quite close. Okay, so the other dream that I had, which was really interesting, it was probably about 4 years ago, I think. And I can't remember if I shared this recently in a video, but I just feel guided to share all of this together now. So we were at the place where I used to live with my partner in London, and I looked out of the window, and there were all of these ships, UFOs, like covering the sky, and these blue beams, like pale blue, like almost like UV, but more of a blue color, pale blue beams of light connected from the ships going down to the earth. And people were being levitated onto the ships. And I was like, oh my god, this is it. So we went downstairs. I can't remember if we levitated out of the window or ran down the stairs, but somehow we were then outside. Might be merging two dreams together there, I can't remember. And we were holding hands, and we looked at each other, and we were like, okay, we're ready, this is it. And so this beam of light comes down around us and starts levitating us up. And then we are in this UFO, and there's a long corridor, and there's like a big line of people standing there. And there was a voice playing through the corridor. So there was a voice just speaking, and it was lulling all of us into this kind of like hypnotized state. And I felt really blissed out and really spaced out. and just like surrendering to this voice. And part of me was a bit like a little bit apprehensive. I was like, oh my God, what's happening? But I also felt at peace as well. So this line led to double doors at the end, and beyond that was almost like a kind of sorting office where it was going to relocate people to where they needed to be. And I knew that's what was the other side of it. And I was feeling this like sadness and frustration because I wanted to go somewhere else, but I knew that I had to go back down to earth because I wasn't finished yet. So yeah. So and I knew that, yeah, I just knew that there was more for me to do, basically. And I was a bit angry, or not angry, just like gutted, really. I was just like, I've just had enough of being here. I just want to go back to the Pleiades or wherever and be in like bliss land. This planet sucks, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, okay, so I still got more to do. So that was the end of the dream. So what's really interesting is if you watch Alison Code's video, which I referenced in one of my previous videos, I'll put a link to it below. She does QHHT sessions, which is quantum healing hypnosis technique, puts people in a trance, and they visit past lives and future lives and other lives and parallel lives and look at the earth at different times and all this really awesome stuff. And they kind of get information. It is for their own personal growth and journey, but what Alison does is kind of collates this information and sees patterns and people talking about the same things, and it's really interesting. And a lot of what she sees is focused around the event or the solar flash. So in this guy's review of the actual solar flash, he said, we know when it's going to come. There's going to be like a particular like moment, pretty much. And he said everybody who's not going to be able to withstand the energy is going to be taken onto ships to be taken somewhere safe. And they're going to, and then she said, why would they want to get on the ships? And he said, we kind of hypnotize them, using our consciousness, using our abilities. And then they get taken away. And then he said he's like a paramedic who stays on the surface to help people who have stayed to withstand the actual flash of solar energy. And he says he gets knocked out for a brief moment of time before he kind of like is able to kind of get back on his feet and go and help other people. I think his brother is there doing the same thing. And the people who decide to stay are basically like starseeds, light workers, and then those human beings who've really worked on themselves spiritually and become very evolved. Unfortunately, some people don't make it. But yeah, obviously that's in their soul contracts, and it might be that they just want to like be on the surface to experience the light. You know, it's complicated, isn't it? But when I heard that, it's been really interesting piecing it together with my dream of going onto a ship, being hypnotized into like a relaxed state, and then having to come back onto the planet, or knowing that it's in my calling to be back on the planet. And I do believe that it's related to the solar flash. So this is really interesting, isn't it? When you piece all these different things together. And my dream last night with like the cascade of events that leads up to the big one, having already been done, like the more I've been feeling into that, the more it feels like this threshold of awakening has been reached. Guys, I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh my God, I can feel it. I really can. And yeah, it's happening. So, this is, God, I love talking about this stuff. I love talking about this stuff. So I now am going to jump back in time a little bit to, it was half term. So what's that? Probably about 6 weeks ago, maybe 7 weeks ago. And we went to this, my mum came down to my corner of England for a week's holiday to visit me and my partner and my son. And we went to this really magical place that we were completely in love with on Dartmoor called Canontain Falls. And it is an artificial waterfall, but the grounds are so beautiful. so beautiful. And I kept feeling guided to, there's like lots of flowing water, like lots of trickling water, and I kept feeling guided to just take the water and receive like a light blessing through it. So placing it on my crown, third eye, throat, heart, and really just drink in the light. And it was really intense spiritual shift for me. It was completely unexpected. It's like a tourist spot we go to. I was not expecting to have this kind of incredible spiritual experience. And we were driving back from it afterwards, and I was just like staring out the window, and I just felt my guides come in, and they said, what was it, the word? They said, "You're on call now. You're on call now." And I was like, okay. And they said, "This is it. All eyes ahead. Your focus is on the event. You are now in service. You've been switched on." It was almost like being drafted in by the military. It's like, right now you are switching into service mode. Everything is about being in service to the awakening and the event. And funnily enough, not even consciously, but since then, I've been in that space. I've just, every day, I'm praying multiple times. I surrender myself to the divine. Please direct me to where I need to go, where I need to be in the highest service to all beings. And it's amazing, like the people that come into your life, the synchronicities, the connections you make. It's just like, yeah, it's just phenomenal. Yeah. So I was thinking this, dude, this just blew my mind. This came in so clearly, and I was thinking this, and literally as I'm thinking it, my partner goes, "Oh my God, babe, look at the dashboard." And one of the number thingies, I don't drive, so I'm a bit rubbish and stuff like this. One of the number thingies was 44444. So 5 fours lined up together, and he happened to glance at it at that point and tell me, as I was having this thought, not only that, but number 4 is his lucky number. Then we look at the GPS and it says we're going to get home at 4:44. And the minute that this happened was 4:27, and 27 is my lucky number. So it's like my partner's lucky number followed by my lucky number. What the hell? Completely blew my mind. By the way, the video stopped there for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I think I've caught all of that. So yeah, it completely blew my mind. I was like, oh my God. Okay, it was like off the back of like this really beautiful, divine, feminine, spiritual experience, which was unexpected. I'm getting guidance, and he is getting literally the most insane synchronistic numbers, like lining up at that moment. It was like one of those points where it's like you're at almost like a vortex point in time, and it's like everything in reality completely lines up in alignment with that, like pillar of like synchronicity and light, you know? So that's kind of the space that I've been in. And like, yeah, okay, how can I be in service? What do I need to do? My focus is on the event and being in service, and whatever else comes with it moving forward. So that's really interesting. Okay, like the next thing I wanted to talk about, which is like a bit of a heavier topic, but I feel it's quite important. So another thing that I've noticed, so I'll talk about myself first. So last week, it was Monday, it was Tuesday actually. So Monday I was really disorientated and spaced out. And then Tuesday I had another flashback to my child's sexual abuse. And it was the first time I've had one that intense since I had the original flashbacks in 2014. Haven't had one like that since, apart from the other day, and it was really intense. And I'm still not quite there yet. You guys know me, I'm a healer. I like lean into this stuff. I kind of really dive into it to move through things as kind of strongly and powerfully as I can. And yeah, it was a tough one. It was a tough one. Didn't come that naturally to me. To move through it easily. So I have been doing a lot of processing, a lot of crying, like really, really, really deep pain, intense crying to the point of hyperventilating and my face going numb, and having to like really get a grip on myself and like deep breaths. So like when I do these videos and stuff, it seems like I've really got my together most of the time. But the reason that I am able to be in this space is because I'm doing the really, really deep trauma work and processing that stuff and clearing it out so that I can be a crystal clear chalice and vessel for the stuff that comes through. So that's me. So I've had this new old flashback come in, and I have to say I'm seeing a lot of people having repressed memories coming to the surface. People I've chatted to in different situations, people coming to me through my video series, and I do get people anyway, because I made this video series about my flashbacks when they first happened. I do get people contacting me because of that anyway, but it just seems like there's been more people going like, oh my God, I just remembered everything. So basically, repressed memories are coming to the surface for the first time. Now, there's one guy I was chatting to, just a kind of, I don't even know what you call it, an event for people to talk about how what is going on in the world is not normal and not okay. So generally the people that were drawn there are kind of like waking up now. One guy we were chatting to, he basically said when he realized what's going on in the world, like recently with this whole COVID thing, then with that, all of these like repressed memories of childhood abuse came back. And I just thought that was really interesting, because with this internal spiritual shift that everybody's going through, that we're talking about, the spiritual awakening, it's like you open more to the light, you open to the divine, you open to getting your information from up here and through here, rather than out here and through your mind. And with that, I think it opens certain doorways. And I think for me, I've been really, I started taking clients again for healing. I did a webinar the other week. And so I'm starting to channel the frequencies again on a daily basis that I haven't done for quite some time. And I think so much light is coming through me that it's lifting that stuff out, you know? Like I said before, like the light vibrates at a very high frequency. And so it's almost like it vibrates the denser, heavy stuff out of your system. But also it's like doorways open between the different levels of your consciousness. So I think like an opening has been made, and it's like stuff starts to come out from the recesses. So this is another one of those, I guess, directed at people in general, but also like the healers who are watching this and those who are in a supporting role. I think we're probably going to get quite a lot of like abuse victims starting to remember things from their childhood or past lives even, or just adulthood, who knows, that they had formerly repressed. And this is, yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? So really it's just about being there for people in that situation. There's not really any right way to do that, but I would just say like compassion and love, and really helping people understand that they are victims and it's safe to feel the full spectrum of emotions. Like there is no right or wrong emotion. Like another aspect to Ascension is being in that divine feminine flow. And it's like the experience of all emotions is so important, you know. For manifestation, sure, you want to get into a high vibe and focus with like a laser focus on what you want, but always being in a high vibration is not conducive to the most powerful spiritual growth. To do that, you got to feel it all. You just do. So yeah, just really holding people as they're going through that, I think is really important. I feel like there was something else I was going to talk about that came in just now, but I've forgotten. I feel like my Pleiadian family are here and would like to come through for a message. So I'm just going to connect with them for a moment and see what they have to say. Oh, we're so close now. We're so close now. Okay, they're saying this. This is what they're saying. And by the way, guys, as always, take this with a pinch of salt. This could mean a year. They work in a different time perception to us. So don't take this to mean like, oh, it's a few hours away. You know, just keep doing the work. But this is what they're coming through and saying. Okay, we are so close now. So it's important for each of you to step up in your own way. Hydrate. Water is really important right now. Bless it. Ask to receive the highest light codes available to you at this time through the water. And ground, ground, ground. Be grounded. Ground into the earth like never before. Ground as much as possible because the light is flowing in through you constantly now. And just ground that into the earth, okay? And the focus really for each of us is keeping ourselves in balance as much as possible. Look after yourself, look after your health. Make sure you get your sleep in. Do everything that you need to ensure that your health and your well-being is of the highest caliber for you personally, because you're going to need your strength. Interventions are going to happen in due course. That is written and it is inevitable. However, we still need each of you to follow your inner guidance, your inner calling, moment to moment. Each of us is a piece of the light mandala. Each of us is a piece of the event. Hydrate, ground, chlorella, and just be loving to each of us. Loving and gentleness, okay? And just as much as you can, just tap into the feeling of those higher frequencies. Tap into the feeling of those higher frequencies and just let the madness go. Just let it all go. Let it go, don't go seeking it. So if it's coming into your own life directly, like physically, through the people around you, then you deal with that on a need to basis, shedding light and bringing light into each situation individually, okay? But looking online, reading about all the terrible things that are going on in the world, it's just not necessary, and it's not going to serve you. It's not going to serve your journey. When we are on the other side of this, when we're in the new earth and we're growing these new communities and we're living in this fifth dimensional way of being, think about what you would think and say looking back at where we are now. Would you be encouraging yourself to read the news, even if it's alternative news? Would you be saying, oh, you've got to find out everything that's going on? Or would you be saying, let it go, be still, center yourself, breathe deeply, meditate, and just drink in the energies and this beautiful, unique experience that we're going through? I think it would probably be the second one. You know, this is a once in a gajillion opportunity that we have here. So, like, yes, process all the emotions that come up. And if you do really feel guided to look at, like, to seek out the darker stuff, do it. But don't just do it aimlessly. Do it with purpose and intention to bring the light in, to transmute it and transform this world into light. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, I hope that helps. I really enjoyed making this video. Unfortunately, it's cut out a couple of times while I was making it, so I really hope that I haven't lost too much and I can edit it together okay. But I'm sending you guys so much love. it is the summer holidays coming up now, the school summer holidays. So it's my son's last week at school. So I doubt I'm going to be doing another video before September when he goes back. So that's obviously quite a way away now. But I will probably be doing a few lives here and there on Instagram. So make sure you go and follow me over on Instagram at the Pleiadian Healing Center just to catch my like little mini live updates. And I'm sending you guys so much love. I really am. Thank you for watching.